Hello and a very warm welcome today. We are in the edition of Conversations with our alumni, and needless to say, I have somebody very special once again. So, NITI is known as a supply chain, mecca of supply chain. It is one of the top B schools of the country. We have today with us Vishnupada Sethi. We are very, very privileged and honored. Welcome, sir. Mr. Sethi has served government of Orissa in several capacities. He serves as CMD in Hydropower Corporation, Green Energy Development Corporation, Vaitarni West Coal, Orissa Thermal Power Corporation, Jetcol Sail Power Corporation. So currently he serves as Principal Secretary, Revenue and Disaster Management. Of course, Mr. Sethi's contribution in disaster management is very well known. In fact, he's written a piece about disaster management in terms of information mismanagement. He's coined a very special word for that. So we will hear about it from him. I would just like you to tell our current students what is it that you took from NITI, which is now helping you in your service.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Ranjani, for giving me this opportunity to address the students. And I can tell you that NITI is very dear to me, and I was privileged that I came to NITI. And NITI was established in 1963, and about 6 decades back, and it has provided great services to the nation by way of teaching, research, consulting, executive education, and developing a symbiotic relationship with industry. And it is dedicated to the advancement of the discipline of industrial engineering and allied subjects under the broader umbrella of productivity and quality movement, value innovations, cost competitiveness, and many other emerging technologies like data science and industry 4. I've seen that NITI prepared me as a change agent, and it also made me a catalyst for innovation and progress. And many challenges have been addressed by NITI over a period of time, and it continues to do so. And I was very lucky that I went to NITI.
Okay, that's so wonderful. You have coined actually a term called infodemic, in one of the articles that you have written also. So now that, of course, nobody would wish to be in disaster management, but we are indeed very thankful and happy that efficient people like you, energetic people like you are handling a crisis that's unfolding before us like never before. So I would just like you to tell us a little bit of your insights and experiences in handling this.
Term infodemic is basically to be aware that in a time of crisis like that one we are facing, a global pandemic, and where you can see crisis all over the world. Some people are spreading false information, and most of our decisions as to how we should save our life and protect our properties depend on authentic information. So there is a tendency to create a lot of fear amongst public. So you can see that if you look really targeted, that people should rely on the authentic information furnished by the government and such reliable agencies, and there should be check and balances so that people who resort to such kind of a thing, they are punished, and nobody has any scope to propagate such false information to scare over the people.
Okay. So that's a very, very important piece of information, I think, for all of us who are hearing you now. We understand the gravity of the situation and the significance of what you say. So, what is your advice for young professionals, such as the ones who are probably now graduating from NITI, the ones who have enrolled in NITI? So, what is your advice in terms of skill sets and attitude? What do you think they should uh, train themselves for?
Yeah, the current globalization, as you can see, is faced by the challenges to meet the continuously growing demand for the capital and consumer goods. In order to cope up with such multidimensional change challenges, value innovation, the basic philosophy of industrial engineering, must be geared towards human welfare through work system design, operations, control, and the value innovation must focus on sustainability. And there's a good point, silver lining, that because of such a pandemic, this has triggered a lot of innovations everywhere, and unnoticed many great changes are happening around us, whether it is a design of product processes or integration of diverse and coordinated supply chain, or it is be it in the design of the virtual workplaces and practices. During this time, we see that there is a lot of demand for products and services, and the change situation is likely to increase the automation processes, the investment in smart manufacturing processes, autonomous material handling, investment in sensors, dashboards, digitizations are being made. Real-time platforms to understand the spikes in demand and shortages. And there is a heavy reliance on the data analytics. High-tech innovations for stronger operations, remote monitoring of manufacturing activities, and robotics based on automation will be the lasting contribution of COVID pandemic. And as I can see, future cities will be smart cities. There will be a lot of investment on that. As you get rid of the COVID, there will be a lot of shift in the future direction.
So that was very insightful. So I was hearing basically from the student perspective, value innovation, to keep a very close watch on digitalization, to become ready for smart cities, to become equipped with artificial intelligence. So all of these seem to be the trends. You have captured it very nicely for the students. So I'm sure the ones who are listening to this now know how they must equip themselves for the times to come. So I promised you that I will introduce you to some unknown facets of Mr. Sethi's personality. I'm going to do that. So there's one more, Odia language, literature and culture. So we all also know, sir, that you're a poet. So this is a very unknown side, very interesting. Give me any topics, I will talk about Orissa culture. So just probably tell all of us, something about Orissa that people should certainly, probably see, hear about, understand.
Thank you very much. In fact, Odisha is very rich in its cultural heritages, and some of you might be knowing that the Ashoka fought a war with Kalinga king in 261 BC, and in Odisha, a lot of experimentation on religions started. Tradition of about more than 2,500 years, a rich heritage of music and dance. And Odisha is known for beautiful sea beaches. And Puri Jagannath temple is famous worldwide. We have a Konark temple, 13th century black pagoda, which attracts, I think it's one of its wonders in the world. So Odisha is very rich in terms of its culture and traditions.
I can see your eyes sparkling when you're talking of Orissa. Thank you so much for, taking us through a virtual tour of Orissa.
Adopting virtual reality and putting our museums, putting our tourist places on on the web, so that you can pay some fees and enter, and
Excellent.
you'll have a satisfying tour of such places.
See, it's not so easy to leave a mark. So let me bring this wonderful session to a conclusion by, giving you a round of probably a virtual applause, by also recording our gratitude to you for giving us this kind of time, for the wonderful insights you've given to the students on especially this pandemic, and how they must prepare themselves post this. So thank you very much for this wonderful afternoon. It's been a pleasure.